Welcome back, folks. Thank you so much for tuning in. I super appreciate it. This week, we're going to be looking at that 1997 classic shooter. This is Goldeneye, made by Rare in 1997, which is weird because the movie actually came out in 1995, and then the game came out 2 years later, with my boy Pierce Brosnan at the helm of Goldeneye. I really enjoyed the movie, and that's one of my favorite movies actually of all time. But is this game just as good as the movie? Let's find out now. Here's the intro. The game starts in 1986 with two MI6 agents, James Bond and Alex Trevathan, infiltrating the chemical weapons facility at Amalzek, or however you say this. Give me a break, I'm not Russian. While finishing the mission, Trevathan dies and Bond destroys the site before bungee jumping off in an escape. Although it looks like Bond is heartbroken over Trevathan and just ending it all. 9 years later, after the dissolution of the Soviet Union, Bond is sent to investigate a satellite control station in Slovenia, Russia, where a programmer named Boris jeez, these freaking names, dude. 2 years after the Siberia mission, Bond investigates the firing of a missile in Kyrgyzstan. Jeez, dude, come on now. Which is a cover for the launch of a satellite called Goldeneye. Bond leaves the style. The colonel that killed Trevathan escapes as well. In 1995, Bond visits Monte Carlo to investigate a frigate and rescue several hostages in purpose of planting a tracker on the helicopter before the crime syndicate steals it. Bond goes back to Slovenia but is captured and locked up, with Natalia Simovia, a programmer, refusing to work for the crime syndicate, Janice. They escape the complex and it's destroyed. Bond goes to St. Petersburg and he arranges a KB agent, Valentina Zolowski, to meet with the chief of Janice, and is revealed to be Alex Trevathan. What? He also reveals that 9 years ago the whole facility incident was faked. Bond gets captured and interrogated, and leaves the room to head out onto the streets and destroying mass everything. Bond then boards a train, taking out Trevathan and Exena both escape along with Bond. They go to the Caribbean and go to Cuba. They go to the Caribbean and go into the Cuban jungle. Their aircraft is shot down. Bond and Natalia sneak into the control center for Goldeneye and take over the transmission, where they are successful, and the final showdown with Trevathan ensues. Bond shoots him down and scores a makeout sesh with Natalia, where the credits roll. Story-wise, this game is awesome. Plenty of suspense, action, and drama that unfolds. The story is perfect, with not one, but one of the best stories I've looked at on this channel. However, the game does not really have a sense of urgency needed to convey the emotions for these type of emotional scenes. In the movie, when the bunker gets shot up, Natalia is scared crapless. Here she is kind of pointless to have her here, honestly. And also the game makes it seem like she's all over James, and that's not the case in the movie. And she's kind of appalled at what he says. Yeah, I know, it's kind of nitpicky, and I know they were trying to reach a different audience. It just annoyed me a bit, is all. With that being said, Goldeneye has a pretty decent story with a pretty good twist in between that. Now, how about the gameplay? Does it stack up to what I think is an amazing story? For starters, you usually start out with your classic PP7 or 007's weapon of choice. And getting through levels and shooting enemies, you can get access to more weapons. And to be obvious in that regard means I dumped James Bond's favorite weapon, like a bad freaking habit. As the game really is super reliant on these said weapons, unless you put in some stupid cheat codes and get the golden gun. But what fetcher wants to cheat with codes? It's stupid. Yeah, I've cheated before, but this is way different. But cheating inside the aim assist is super easy. The PC enthusiasts hate the aim assist in Fortnite, but man, hell would freeze over if controller players had this kind of aim. But technically, that's probably the biggest flaw in the game for me as far as gameplay goes. Because not only can you not always be super reliant on this, as sometimes you do have to use ADS, or aim down sight for short, and when you control with just one thumbstick, it becomes very clunky and at times too archaic. I can't tell you how many times I died just because I had to slow down, aim and shoot at a bad guy, only for his buddy to come up from behind me and shoot me. This is so stupid, and in one of the levels, the jungle, this sucks, and I hate this stupid level, by the way. I know I'm going off on a random tangent, but my goodness, I've never had so much trouble in any other levels in this game. But this, ooh boy, where do I even begin? First off, there are turrets in this level that just snuck up on you out of nowhere. And they're easy to kill because you can use mines, but if you use those, then you don't have enough to kill the boss at the end of the level, and she has a freaking rocket launcher! With arcade gaming, this level makes you super reliant on just shooting them, but you can make it out decently easy when you figure it out. But still, when I finally beat the level, I had to make sure I ran for my life through the endless abyss of enemies. Holy fetch, I just hate this level. It's terrible. Most of the levels of this game are super fun. My favorite is around the third to last level or the second to last level. You can run super fast and move through a barrage of enemies with no regard for human life. All in all, the levels are pretty decently fun to play, but sometimes they can get pretty monotonous after a while. Nothing too crazy, but people have issues with AI. I never really felt like it was too bad. I mean, it was a 90s game, they're trying something new, so I feel like it was done decently for the time being. Graphically speaking, yeah, I got two things to say about this. One, Mario 64 came out a year before this game, and I feel like the graphics are way better in that game. Maybe it's the color scheme along with the cartoonness, but Mario's graphics kind of suck, but not as bad as this game. And I mean, just look at the stretched faces, good lord. And some of the environments can be super washed out and dark. I'm not really a big fan of this part of that. The game just doesn't look colorful to me, and I have a serious issue with that. Music wise though, is excellent. Grant Kirkhope has done it once again with his amazing sounding tunes. In my eyes or ears, the Bond theme has never sounded better with this rendition. It is so amazing, and also with the other touches to the other tunes, has that amazing N64 rare feel, and it perfectly complements this game. Gameplay wise, I feel like this game was okay at best with the story mode. Someday I'll probably look at the multiplayer, as I've never really played the multiplayer. I have seen the videos on it, and the story, unless you look at my Let's Play, which I started a year ago, really doesn't show too much. And I haven't seen too many people make videos on the story, unless they're doing a review like this game. The gameplay is okay, nothing spectacular. Honestly, maybe I had to just play it back in the day in order to get the impact that it really had. In conclusion, I really like Goldeneye. I do understand the impact that the game had as far as multiplayer first-person shooters, but what I reviewed is very archaic and kinda outdated. This story is great, but the single-player mode has not aged well at all, and I'm not a huge fan of it. But the soundtrack is one of Rare's and Grant Kirkhope's best. Hopefully I can get these videos out faster, guys. I'm sorry for the slow updates. I will try to get back at least once a week or every other week. Can't make any promises though. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode.